Hey friends, welcome to Girl Talk. Happy Friday again. Friday is my favorite day of the week. I love Fridays. I love Fridays. Love, love, love. Anyways, so Amy and I today, our conversation will be talking about guarding your heart and having boundaries, which again, another tough topic for me because some of these pointers I'm not very good at, but I mean, none of us are perfect.
No.
So we work at these things every day, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I learned a lot, too, by looking into this one.
Right. So I think it's important, well, when we don't set boundaries, we start to lose ourselves anyways because we're giving into people, we're giving into people's, attitudes and negativity, all that stuff because we're not guarding our heart from that.
So I'm really glad you started there because that's exactly what I was thinking. A lot of times I get frustrated, like, how could they ask me to do that? I cannot handle one more thing. Well, why am I expecting them to set the boundary for me?
Right.
So, and we cannot control other people. We cannot, So I thought that was so interesting.
Agree, because that's one thing, too, that I'm not really good at is making it known my boundaries to people without being like that, like, why is she doing that? Or why is she, just, say it out of love type of thing. Like, be like, you know what, I'm trying not to do this, or I'm trying to stay away from this, or, like, just for my sake, my sanity, my heart.
Right.
Like, all you have to do is say that, and then they will understand, and I'm not really well with that. Because then again, you're being vulnerable, and you're telling them you're, like...
I can't handle it, or I can't do that,
But then sometimes that's what's most important for you and your mental health and everything of A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Well, because the Bible in Hebrews says to throw aside every weight that weighs you down, right?
Right.
Well, sometimes the weight that's weighing me down is myself personally because I didn't set up a boundary, so I'm letting other people, and I think it's them that's weighing me down. When it's like, no, if I would have set that boundary myself, I should know myself better.
Or even if it's a certain person that's toxic or just not good, like you guys just don't mesh well or whatever it is, but every time you're with them, you're feeling that, and you're like, oh, man, I shouldn't have gone out with that person. Oh, man, I shouldn't have done that. Well, that's when you're like, I'm going to step back and not hang out as much, or maybe not talk as much, or maybe, every once in a while. And then eventually, I feel like it just won't happen anymore because...
Which, that gets really hard around family.
Okay,
if it's a family member,
because I haven't had to,
I don't either.
But
to all my family, I do not feel that way about you.
I love how you just talked to the microphone. You're like...
Everybody listen. But yeah, I know if you have a toxic family member, that could be very difficult.
Because you can't... See, I don't know what you would do in that case. But...
Well, I think you still have to set a boundary.
Yeah.
You have to decide what it is, what it's going to be. You might
just have to be honest and vocal about it and just be like... Or just make sure you're just away from them that entire... day, or not away, but if they're in this room, maybe you can be in this room, or maybe you know what I mean,
right.
However,
and then limit your time together, Christmas,
right,
and not be we're going out partying every other weekend.
Exactly. So, and there's all different kind of boundaries. There's physical, there's emotional, there's mental, and there's relationship. Yeah. So there's all kinds of them you have to think about
and
that you don't
realize.
Be
in tune with yourself.
Yes.
You really need to know who you are so that way you can set the boundaries.
Right.
What makes me become stressed? Or when is my plate too full? When do I lose who Amy is? When do I get frustrated? When do I...
Right.
And then I can set those boundaries. But if I don't know who I am, then how can I set a boundary you crossed the line, that made too much for me,
That's what I am so that's when we learn what to take in and what to let go. What we actually... if there's a good person we need to be around, we need to take in everything that they are and then leave away the people who aren't.
Right, yeah.
So it's hard though. It's hard to let go of people, and trust me, in the past I've had to do that. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And people don't understand. Okay, have you ever been to the store where someone's walking too close and you're like, you're really in my personal bubble.
That's true.
What is wrong with you? People just don't know.
There's no boundaries.
Yeah.
No.
Back off, buddy.
I know. I know.
But now they have the lines on the floor for 6 feet apart, so I guess people
who do have those issues, this is a blessing me, guys.
Right. And you have to take responsibility. I am responsible for my feelings, my happiness. I'm responsible for me, for Amy.
You are.
And not Ashley. I have to make sure that I set those boundaries in place.
Right, and I haven't, be real, be authentic, show people the real you, or you will lose like we will lose ourselves, which is actually toxic to our heart, which is actually like we're totally breaking our boundary there because they said just make it known that, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter, like if you say no, I can't go out with these friends because I need to stay home and do laundry. That's then, okay.
Yes,
that's okay. You have to draw the line.
And being on the flip side of it, those people should just understand that too as well. You know what I mean? And it's hard for that, but like don't worry about them being upset either as well.
Yeah, because you're not responsible for them.
No.
And you're not responsible for their happiness.
Exactly.
So, yeah, worry about you. I have a habit of saying yes to everything. Every time someone's like, can you do this? Yes, I can. Can you do this? Absolutely. And I've really learned now, like, you know what? I really cannot. Sorry. But so-and-so's good at it.
So, like, we have, like, me and Riley have, like, a ton of friends from all over. So, like, they always ask us, like, one night we got asked, like, 4 times, 4 different people what we were doing.
Wow.
To different, like, stages. And, like, some nights they'll ask and I'll be like, we could, but I don't want to because I'm tired or I just don't feel like it, or if I just don't want to do it. Like, that's just, I needed that mental break from it. And I'm like, that was just one of my boundaries that I'm pretty okay with. Like, I'll tell Riley no, even though he can do everything all the time, but I'm just like, and he is totally understandable, like understanding about it and all that. So that's good. Because I mean, he could be like, we never get to do this, or we do a lot. But I mean, me saying no a couple of times will feel that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's pretty understanding about that. That's one really of my examples of myself, and I'm just like, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I just won't be fun. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to watch TV and do nothing.
Yeah.
Be in my PJs. You know what I mean? It's just one of those.
Absolutely.
But
that's important.
Yes.
That's recharging yourself. Mm-hmm. That's knowing yourself. Like, that's very important that you know who you are.
Right. And another boundary I struggle with is letting go of my past, or let my past take a hold of me. And I think about that all the time. And I don't have a boundary of just, like, letting that go.
Wow.
That's really big for me.
That is hard.
I let that bother me. But why? Because it's not gonna do any good for me.
Yeah.
So why do I keep going back to it?
Can't fix it.
Yeah. So it's just, boundaries are hard.
Yeah, they are.
And guarding your heart. That's what I mean. I'm like, why am I making myself sad and irritable and frustrated?
Well, I
can't change it.
Habit of saying yes to everything at the church. So, like, my Sundays were just overrun, and I loved it. I loved working with the kids, but I just finally realized I don't even enjoy worshiping my Lord right now. I don't even enjoy praise and worship time. And then it was like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And am I really fulfilling my purpose I was on earth? And my spiritual gifts, am I using those to the fullest? And it was all because I just kept saying, yes, I can do it.
And you need to refill yourself in order to refill the kids. So if you're not getting what you need on Sundays, you can't give them what they need on Sundays. And plus, Sundays are like a recharging type of day.
They
like, go worship, all this stuff. But if you're, and you still can while helping with the kids. But if you're not feeling that, how are you actually going to help the kids if you don't refill yourself?
Right, but it's an area that I had to put a boundary on. And I had to say, okay, this is what I can do, and I'll do this. Right. And that's it, and other people can help.
Yeah, and it is important to know your boundaries, and it will take time too.
Yeah.
Don't think it's gonna be like, oh, yep, nope, X, no, it's not.
And you will feel guilty.
Yeah.
You will feel guilty
and that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. It's not guilt. It's Satan trying to convince you that you should have been doing that, and no.
Right.
I agree. Be strong in what you set your boundary at.
I agree. 100%. Yep.
And who you are. So, in every area, learn yourself and set those boundaries, and that's it.
Don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Don't feel guilty about it. Do what's best for you. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. Okay? Remember that.
All right, girlfriends. We'll catch you next time. Hey, girlfriends, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our podcast today. We are grateful to have you here.
We are Girlfriends Just Talking. We want to encourage women to live an intentional, powerful, positive, and spirit-filled life.
Come check us out over on Instagram and Facebook, where we have a community of women encouraging other women. We'll see you there.